It's predicted that world population will grow to 9 billion people by 2040. And the global opportunity for dairy is expected to grow dramatically right along with it. It all begins with meeting consumer demand and providing dairy products that consumers want. And while the U.S. dairy industry has proven it's prepared to meet that growth, the question remains, is the Midwest region prepared to take advantage of this opportunity? The Path Forward initiative lays out the challenges and opportunities before the Midwest dairy industry to capture its share of the global and domestic demand. South Dakota Dairy Drive has brought together leaders from government, university, industry, and farming to map out the Midwest's role in the pursuit of the path forward. What products will consumers want in the future? Does the Midwest have the processing capacity to meet those consumer demands? Will there be an adequate milk supply to fill the capacity? And will the local communities support the industry? Key South Dakota leaders are confident the answer is yes.
Dairy growth is good for everyone. It is good for dairy producers, it is good for dairy processors, for communities, for environment. It is good for the economy. We need to create a culture that rewards success, that celebrates success.
I think the opportunity for the dairy industry and what's vital for the dairy industry is to really look at what do they need to do to prepare for the future right now. The key components are innovation, the key component is leadership, the key components is really being proactive, aggressive, and looking at what's our competitive position with literally with the rest of the world in terms of feeding a hungry world.
Agricultural processing, and specifically dairy processing, is a huge part of our future plans for South Dakota. And so clearly dairy is an important part of our efforts to bring increased economic development, quality jobs, and property tax base to South Dakota.
From our large urban communities to our rural communities and everywhere in between, we have the upside and the benefit of a diversified dairy industry. And we add value to the feed and the forage that's raised. We add value to our communities through our school systems by having a supply of children coming into the school systems and having main streets that are successful as a result of the ripple effect of having a strong ag economy.
South Dakota is proactive in agriculture, and I think our state needs to remember that. And that includes our public sector. Even if you live in an urban development, that dairy or all agriculture is part of South Dakota's history, and we have that opportunity to grow.
It's very important that we look at dairy as just one more of those ways that South Dakota can help feed the world. The dairy industry isn't just inside of Brookings, it's something that is regional. And with our university, our SDSU, they have such a strong dairy program that dairy program can help that industry.
As a dairy science department at a university, we have a number of functions. We provide graduates to the industry. We do cutting-edge research both in manufacturing and production. And so we fit right in with the future of the dairy industry.
There's still untapped potential in the dairy industry. The resources we have here, and not just the obvious, the land, the water, but think of the expertise we have here. So the human resources, the thing that I think we take for granted is our manufacturing infrastructure. It's been here for many, many decades, and we now need to grow on that. And the only way to do that is, of course, to expand the base, which is milk production.
This entire part of the state in particular, the I-29 corridor, has real opportunities for dairy throughout, and we're certainly interested in working together with the private sector as well as our Department of Agriculture to make sure we capitalize on those opportunities.
On behalf of Agripure, we intend to grow. The I-29 corridor is really identified across the country as one of the best growth regions for dairy. The growth of cheese has really been on a 30-40 year steady growth incline. The consumption nationwide, worldwide, continues to grow in cheese. Every time that 1 more pound of cheese is eaten by the population of the United States, that's another 330 million pounds of cheese that's in demand.
I'm always optimistic about the future, and the future of dairy is great in the state of South Dakota and all along the I-29 corridor. The stronger we can build that dairy industry in the area, the stronger, the better we'll be in the dairy industry and the opportunities we'll have.